When it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, few topics generate as much discussion and speculation as Lamar Jackson's role on the team, his future, and the way the front office navigates the challenges surrounding him. Over the course of this season, every twist and turn has seemed to pivot on the quarterback position, and now, as Week 18 approaches, the stakes could not be higher. From injuries to contract negotiations and the ongoing conversation about what it means to manage a superstar quarterback, the Ravens' situation is a fascinating mix of strategy, talent evaluation, and human drama that stretches far beyond the field. This season has tested Baltimore's resilience and forced fans to wrestle with difficult questions about loyalty, value, and the delicate balance between keeping a proven star and planning for long-term team success. Lamar's journey this season has been punctuated by moments that show both the brilliance and the fragility that come with being a top-level NFL quarterback. Every injury he has faced, every minute spent off the field, and every decision about whether to push him back into action has rippled through the locker room and the fan base. There is no denying Lamar's extraordinary talent. His ability to create plays under pressure, his athleticism, and his decision-making when at his best place him among the most unique quarterbacks of his generation. Yet, as with all great athletes, the question of management, how to protect, support, and optimize his performance remains critical. And in Baltimore, that question takes on added complexity, especially when the usual support systems, like agents and advisory teams, are not part of the equation in the way they might be for other players. One of the key points emerging from this season is the absence of a traditional agent. For Lamar Jackson, NFL executives have highlighted how this creates a unique challenge, not just in negotiating contracts, but in providing a buffer between the player and the organization. While Lamar successfully navigated a monumental contract in the past, securing a 5-year deal worth over $160 million, the process was long, intricate, and required him to handle negotiations on his own. Typically, agents manage the tension between player and team, sometimes even advising the player to agree with the team's stance on certain issues in order to preserve relationships and maintain strategic positioning. Without that intermediary, every discussion, every disagreement, and every negotiation falls directly onto the player and the executives, creating a dynamic that is both rare and fascinating in today's NFL landscape. Executives point out that quarterbacks face a distinct set of challenges that other positions rarely encounter. Beyond physical performance, there are countless variables: managing injuries, reading defenses, maintaining peak conditioning, and dealing with media and fan expectations that require a high level of guidance and strategic advice. Experienced agents bring that expertise to the table, not only negotiating contracts, but also advising players on when to push, when to compromise, and how to navigate the pressures that inevitably rise in high-stakes environments. For Lamar, the absence of this type of support system raises questions about how he approaches these ongoing challenges, particularly as he prepares for a critical Week 18 matchup that could define the season for the Ravens. While he has demonstrated remarkable independence and intelligence in handling previous negotiations, there is a broader discussion about the value of having an experienced voice mediating between player and organization. The debate extends beyond contracts and into roster strategy, with some voices suggesting bold alternatives, such as exploring the potential of younger quarterbacks or using draft capital to restructure the team's approach. Agents and executives alike have speculated about the possibility of leveraging assets in ways that could dramatically reshape Baltimore's future, including the potential to consider quarterbacks like Malik Willis or others who offer upside but come with less certainty. These discussions often highlight the tension between securing a proven superstar like Lamar and the temptation to plan for long-term roster flexibility and salary cap management. While hypothetical trade scenarios capture headlines and ignite debates among fans, the reality is far more nuanced, requiring careful evaluation of talent, team chemistry, and the delicate art of managing expectations both on and off the field. Lamar Jackson's impact on the Ravens goes far beyond numbers or statistics. His presence dictates game planning, influences the way teammates perform, and creates opportunities that might not exist without his unique skill set. Considering alternatives, whether through draft picks or other quarterbacks, carries inherent risk. Young players may bring potential, but rarely replicate the proven performance of an established star, particularly one with Lamar's combination of speed, agility, and game-changing instincts. Even players who excel in other systems, like Malik Willis with the Packers, represent an unknown variable, a hypothetical that could pay off or falter depending on the circumstances. The calculus is never simple, and it requires a careful balance of risk management, talent evaluation, and an understanding of the intangible benefits that a player of Lamar's caliber brings to a franchise as Week 18 approaches. The Ravens' front office and coaching staff face not just the practical challenges of fielding a winning team, but also the delicate task of managing public perception and player morale. Injuries have already shaped the season in significant ways, testing the depth of the roster and the adaptability of the coaching staff. Backup quarterbacks, like Tyler Huntley, have stepped in admirably when needed, demonstrating growth and command of the offense. Yet the team's identity remains inextricably linked to Lamar Jackson. Every decision about practice, playtime, and medical clearance carries weight, and each choice sends signals to the league, the media, and the fan base about the direction of the franchise. The balance between protecting the player, maintaining competitiveness, and planning strategically for the future creates a tension that few other teams experience so acutely. Particularly when a generational talent is at the center of the discussion, media narratives and public speculation amplify this tension, with articles and commentary dissecting every possible scenario from contract extensions and restructures to hypothetical trades and potential successors. These discussions are fueled by the fact that Lamar Jackson's situation is unique. In the modern NFL context, a dynamic, mobile quarterback with elite abilities, a history of negotiating without a traditional agent, and a clear influence over the team's success, analysts examine every angle, from cap implications to player development, offering insights that sometimes reveal more about league dynamics than about the individual player. Fans naturally become deeply invested, aware that the decisions made in these final weeks could shape the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. The conversation also extends into comparisons with other sports and notable trades, highlighting the challenges of managing top-tier talent. Executives draw parallels with situations like the trade of NBA superstar Luka Doncic from the Mavericks, emphasizing how even elite players can be moved under the right conditions and how those moves resonate with fan bases and organizational culture. In Baltimore, any potential discussion about moving Lamar Jackson sparks strong emotions precisely because of his value both on the field and as a public figure representing the franchise. The delicate balance between opportunity, loyalty, and practical management decisions defines the tension surrounding his role, creating a narrative that is as compelling off the field as it is during every snap on Sundays. Ultimately, Lamar Jackson's situation is emblematic of the complexity of managing elite talent in professional sports. It is a combination of strategy, skill evaluation, leadership, and negotiation, with each element interwoven in ways that affect the team's performance and the fan experience. Baltimore's handling of Lamar this season demonstrates the challenges of sustaining success while navigating injuries, contract discussions, and the broader implications of talent management. As the season nears its conclusion, all eyes remain on Lamar, the coaching staff, and the front office, anticipating the decisions that will define both this year's outcome and the longer-term trajectory of the franchise. As the Ravens approach the critical final week of the season, the conversation about Lamar Jackson has shifted from theoretical to urgent, and every detail about his health and readiness is being scrutinized. Week 18 is shaping up to be a defining moment not only for Baltimore's playoff aspiration, but also for Lamar's future with the team. Injuries have been a consistent theme this year, and the way the coaching staff, medical team, and Lamar himself handle this last stretch will have implications that could echo for years. Fans are weighing every update, every practice report, and every word from the coaching staff, aware that the quarterback's availability and performance will determine not just a game, but the narrative for the offseason and beyond. In this high-pressure environment, the role of backup quarterbacks cannot be overstated. Tyler Huntley has emerged as a capable and confident presence whenever called upon, and his development this season has been remarkable, learning from Lamar, internalizing the Ravens' complex offensive system, and demonstrating the ability to lead the team in high-stakes situations have all contributed to Huntley's growth. Yet, while his performance has been impressive, it is clear that the offense reaches a different level when Lamar is on the field. His mobility, ability to extend plays, and knack for creating opportunities that defy standard defensive schemes make him a game changer. And no backup, no matter how talented, can replicate that unique impact. The contrast highlights the difficult choices the front office faces in planning for both immediate competitiveness and long-term roster flexibility beyond the field. The discussions about Lamar's future intersect with larger strategic considerations. For the franchise, the conversations about cap management, roster construction, and the potential for trades or draft maneuvering are all part of the calculus the Ravens must navigate. There is always a temptation in professional sports to consider a younger, less proven quarterback in exchange for salary relief or draft assets. But these theoretical discussions rarely account for the tangible difference a generational talent brings to a team's identity. Agents and executives frequently point out that even with a strong supporting cast, the presence of a quarterback like Lamar fundamentally alters the way opponents prepare, the way games unfold, and the overall ceiling of the team. Any discussion about his future is therefore not just a matter of contract numbers, but of competitive strategy and cultural impact. This year's off-field dynamics have added another layer of complexity. Without a traditional agent, Lamar has navigated contract negotiations largely on his own, demonstrating impressive self-advocacy and business acumen. Executives in the league have commented on how unusual this is, noting that agents typically serve as critical intermediaries who can buffer difficult conversations, provide strategic counsel, and ensure that negotiations remain productive rather than adversarial. In Lamar's case, these responsibilities have largely fallen on him and his trusted advisors, which underscores both his independence and the unique challenges he faces. The situation has sparked broader conversations about the importance of advisory structures for elite athletes and the delicate balance between personal agency and professional guidance in high-stakes environments. Another layer to consider is the speculation about potential trades or roster moves that could reshape Baltimore's long-term plans. While hypothetical scenarios abound, ranging from using draft picks to secure emerging quarterbacks to exploring trades for younger talent, the reality is that Lamar Jackson's value is extraordinarily high, and any decision to move him would reverberate across the league. Comparisons have been drawn to major trades in other sports, such as the movement of NBA stars, highlighting the magnitude of the stakes and the potential fan backlash. In Baltimore, Lamar is not just a player, he is a symbol of the team's identity and a linchpin of the offense, making any discussion of replacement or trade inherently controversial and emotionally charged. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. In a surprising revelation that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, star running back Saquon Barkley has opened up about the reasons behind his decision not to join the Baltimore Ravens, sparking a flurry of speculation among fans and analysts alike. The Giants standout made headlines recently when he cryptically stated, "That's why I didn't go to the Ravens," leaving the football world scrambling to decipher the motives behind what could have been one of the most talked about moves of the season. Barkley's comment, brief but loaded with intrigue, has fueled rampant debate across social media and sports talk shows. Was it a matter of contract disputes, a clash in team culture, or perhaps a strategic career move to preserve his own legacy? Sources close to the running back suggest that the decision may have been influenced by more than just financial considerations. Some insiders hint at philosophical differences in how he envisions his role in an offense versus what the Ravens were offering, while others speculate that lingering concerns over the team's injury management or offensive line depth may have played a part. The Ravens, known for their physically dominant style and reliance on versatile backs, would have seemed like a perfect fit for Barkley's explosive running style. Yet, the NFL has seen countless examples of star players walking away from seemingly ideal situations, and Barkley's cryptic remark has fans imagining scenarios that go beyond the typical player-team negotiations. Could there have been personal factors, perhaps relationships within the locker room, or even long-term health considerations that tipped the scale? The ambiguity surrounding his statement only adds fuel to the rumor mill. Adding another layer to the speculation is the timing of Barkley's revelation. It comes at a moment when the Giants are recalibrating their offensive strategy, and fans are left wondering if this statement is a subtle signal about future moves, or even a hint at a preferred destination should a trade ever be on the table. Analysts have begun dissecting every word, tone, and context of Barkley's comments, with some suggesting it could be a strategic psychological play to increase his leverage, or test the market without committing to any public stance, whatever the real reason. One thing is clear. Barkley's statement has ignited the imagination of the football world, reminding everyone that in the NFL, the story behind a player's decision can be as captivating as any highlight reel. For now, the Ravens will remain a what-if in Barkley's career, and fans can only speculate on the circumstances that made him steer clear of Baltimore until further details emerge. The mystery remains tantalizing, leaving the league abuzz with rumors, analysis, and endless debate. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.